Hi gang, nice to see you again. Welcome to Markel Builds. I want to take a few minutes and just kind of talk about who I am, a little bit of my background, just to kind of maybe prove and validate that some of the stuff we're going to be talking about have come around through a lot of years of experience. I've been in construction now, I hate to say it, but probably close to 30 years. I started out with a flooring company. I did a lot of flooring, stairs, railings. At one point I hurt my back and realized that I wanted to be more than just a flooring contractor. So I went and worked for Behr Paint, learned more about paint stains and coatings than any human being should ever know. Spent a couple of years there. I went and did commercial heating and cooling. I did a bunch of really large projects. I've done dry coolers, rooftops, chillers, you name it there, so pretty well versed. Helped open a small residential heating and cooling company that also had an electrical and plumbing division, so I was really able to learn like the guts of the inside of the house, how the house like breathes and lives, which was really interesting. I ended up with a bunch of certifications and a bunch of things that came from that. Wanted to then focus on being a little bit more well-rounded, so I've done some siding, some windows, some doors. I did some roofing for a little bit. And at which point I really launched what was now my core company, which is AIM Project Management, because I felt that I had a really good understanding of how the house worked. As a point of reference, I've done embassies, I've done apartment buildings, I've rebuilt the headquarters of Heritage Canada under a heritage designation, which is the Billy Bishop building, which is the famous air pilot from the World War One. I've built a eco park, the first campsite that has been built in the last 15 years in Ontario. I have a tiny home company, so our tiny home company just launched with Home Depot, the first tiny home company to launch in Home Depot. I built and own a brewery, first brewery to be opened in a golf course in Canada, second in North America. I now work for, I'm head of construction for a modular building company called Modulink. We specialize in panels and mid-rise, the missing multi we call it, so apartment buildings. So through all that, I think I have a really well-rounded knowledge of what construction actually looks like, and that's starting from the digging all the way through the finishing. I've lived it, I've learned it, I've made a lot of mistakes, and I really hope that there's some value to you being able to follow along on our journey together.